Hi there, John McAdams here. Thanks a lot for joining me in this video where we talk about the new Barnes Harvest Collection line of ammunition. So in this video, I'll hit the highlights of this ammunition. We'll talk about who and what it is designed for. We'll talk about available chamberings in it. I'll shoot some of this ammunition here at the range. We'll see what sort of velocity and accuracy I get out of it. I will also shoot it into ballistic gel, and we'll get an idea of what terminal performance is like with this stuff. I would also like some help from my audience testing this ammo out this fall, so stay tuned for details on how you can potentially participate in this test at the end of the video. So first we'll hit the highlights of this ammo. Now Barnes literally just announced this ammo in the spring of 2025 at the NRA show. Now just like you can see on the packaging, they are marketing this stuff specifically for stuff like exotics, antelope, and deer, and it's loaded with the Sierra Tipped GameKing bullet. This ammunition is also more reasonably priced than loaded ammo that you normally get from Barnes. So for instance, this 300 Win Mag loading I have in my hand retails for $44.99 right now. Well, you compare that to some 300 Win Mag ammo in the Barnes Vortex line, that stuff retails directly from Barnes anyway, as I record this, at over $70 a box. So how did the folks at Barnes do that? Well, the Harvest Collection line of ammo uses the Sierra Tipped GameKing bullet. That is a more traditional cup and core style projectile. Now, in contrast to the classic GameKing, the Tipped GameKing has a polymer tip and a more aerodynamic shape overall. It also has a thicker jacket and a generally more robust construction, though this is not a bonded bullet. Now, when this bullet strikes an animal, the polymer tip gets knocked to the side and it exposes a large hollow cavity underneath it. That helps to initiate expansion. So the designers at Sierra claim that that results in a good balance of a very impressive wound cavity combined with really good penetration. Now, this bullet, like I said, is not bonded, and it is not as tough as a copper Barnes TTSX, for instance. But like I said, it generally seems to have a good reputation for being a solid big game projectile. And actually, I've known several people that have used Tipped GameKing bullets in different cartridges to successfully harvest game ranging from deer, elk, up to and including moose. Now, the Sierra Tipped GameKing is more economical to produce than a bonded projectile or a copper bullet like a TTSX. So for that reason, the folks at Barnes and Sierra partnered to load Barnes factory ammo with Sierra bullets to give hunters an economically priced ammo option that is optimized for use on medium and big game. So Barnes rolled out their new Harvest Collection line of ammunition in the spring of 2025 in several different cartridges. So first, they have a 223 Remington loading with a 69 grain bullet. They also have a 243 Winchester loading with a 90 grain bullet, a 6.5 Creedmoor load with a 140 grain bullet, 6.5 PRC load with a 145 grain bullet, 270 Winchester, 145 grain projectile, 7 Rim Mag, 150 grain bullet, 308 with a 165 grain bullet, and 30-06 and 300 Win Mag, both with 180 grain bullets. And like I said, every single one of those cartridges uses the Sierra Tipped GameKing bullet. Now, Barnes currently lists most of that ammo for sale for $39.99. The 6.5 PRC and 300 Win Mag are exceptions. They're a little bit more expensive at $44.99. Now, that's all well and good, but how does it perform? Well, I have some 223 and 300 Win Mag ammo at the range right now. I'm going to shoot it and we'll see how it performs. We'll see what sort of accuracy we get. We'll see what sort of velocities I'm getting out of that stuff. And like I said, I'll shoot it into ballistic gel and we'll see how it performs there. I will shoot the 223 ammo in my Diamondback DB15 AR-15 chambered in 223 Wild. Rifle has an 18-inch long barrel, and I will use it in conjunction with my Banish 46 suppressor. The 300 Win Mag, I'll shoot in my Ruger Hawkeye FTW Hunter. This rifle has a 24-inch long barrel, and I will shoot it in conjunction with a Banish backcountry suppressor. So let's get to it. Okay, advertised velocity for the 223 Remington is 3,000 feet per second. I obtained an average velocity of 2,760 feet per second out of this rifle. But remember, that is out of an 18-inch long barrel. Like most companies, Barnes is probably advertising these velocities with a 24-inch long barrel. So if you have a rifle with a longer barrel, especially a bolt action, if you have a Tikka or a Browning X-Bolt or something like that, probably going to be getting faster velocities than what I obtained out of this AR-15. 300 Win Mag advertised at 2,960 feet per second. I obtained velocities almost dead on with the 300 Win Mag, but that rifle also has a 24-inch long barrel. Now, neither one of these rifles is what I would consider to be an especially accurate rifle. Accuracy is good with both of them for almost everything I shoot out of them. And I'm normally getting groups between 1.25 and 1.75 MOA with them. So like I said, good but not great. And that is about what I was getting with this ammo out of both of these rifles. Both were between 1.25 and 1.5 MOA. And that was with me pulling a shot with the 223 as well. So this isn't the sort of ammunition that, at least not with these rifles, I'm not going to be going out there and winning a match with them or anything like that, but certainly accurate enough for the sort of work that I would be doing with them. Now let's talk about how this stuff performed in ballistic gel. Okay, here's the 223 Remington in gel. Nice short neck, not bad wound cavity at all. Also got lots of fragmentation in this wound as well. Pieces of lead there, pieces of copper there and there, radiating outwards from the main wound track that would cause even more damage to an animal. Bullet continues to penetrate and comes to a rest right there, just shy of 16 inches of penetration. All in all, not bad. This sort of performance is in line with what I have seen from other loads for the 223 Remington that are designed and marketed for hunting big game. Okay, for the 300 Win Mag, nice short neck, massive wound cavity. This is a gigantic wound. Also, lots of pieces of lead and copper bullet fragments radiating outwards from the main wound track. This would cause very, very substantial damage to an animal. Bullet penetrates into the second gel block, comes to rest there. Looks like about 25.5 inches of penetration. So all in all, this is really good performance for a cup and core bullet out of a 300 Win Mag at these sort of velocities. Very impressed with this. This sort of performance is as good or better than what I have observed out of other similar loads from the 300 Win Mag with a cup and core bullet. So that looks like great terminal performance for hunting game like whitetail deer. The same is also true for other game like feral hog, pronghorn antelope, black bear, even elk, out of an appropriate cartridge and at an appropriate range. Now, I have not actually hunted with any of this ammunition yet, like I said, because it is literally brand new, but my initial impressions are very good. Now, would you like to help me test this ammunition afield later this year? The folks at Barnes have generously donated a few boxes of this ammunition that we'll send to some lucky listeners I randomly select for you to test at the range and hopefully test a field on game this fall. Now, if you'd like to participate, go to thebiggameHuntingblog.com/Sierra or at the link in the episode description or pinned comment, sign up there. Confirm your email if you are asked to do so, then reply to the email I send to you after that asking what state you live in and what your preferred cartridge is. Deadline to sign up, 11:59 p.m. Central Time, 1 June 2025. I will randomly select a handful of lucky listeners who will each receive one box of the Barnes Harvest Collection ammunition in the cartridge of their choosing. In return, I ask for your assistance in conducting an honest evaluation of how this ammo performs. Let me know how accurately it shoots in your rifle. Do your best to hunt with it afield this fall. I won't hold it against you if things just don't work out and you don't get the opportunity to shoot something with it. But if things do work out and you do get the opportunity to shoot a deer or other animal with this ammunition, please do a thorough necropsy of that animal after you kill it. Take pictures of the chest cavity if at all possible. Let me know all of the details of the shot. What range was it at? What was the shot angle like? Did the bullet exit? How far did the animal run after the shot? What sort of damage did it do to the vitals of the animals? All of those things. With luck, we'll get a couple of different data points on how this ammo performs in different cartridges, on different game, different parts of the country, that we can use to provide feedback to Barnes and Sierra, as well as to other members of the audience, just to give them an idea if this ammo is worth hunting with. Remember, the deadline to sign up is 1 June 2025, 11:59 p.m. Central Time. Go to thebiggamehuntingblog.com/Sierra. I plan on doing another video along these lines later this year to share the results on how this ammo performed afield. Be sure to hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button if you like this video, and so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, to include that other recap of this ammo later in 2025. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day and good hunting.